Please could you do a video on Master Orgus Din? Would love to know more about him before the events of SWTOR. All I can tell you is what is available. Okay, so he only exists in Legends and he is a Jedi Master who came from Rishi, and he played a key role in the conflict between the Galactic Republic and the Sith Empire during the later years of the Great Galactic War. Now, over his career, he mentored numerous Padawans, such as Fortress Gaul and Bengal Maw. Actually, he shaped them both until they both reached the rank of Knight. Now, during the war's final stretch, Din was stationed in the Miners Cluster, leading Republic forces alongside the elite Havoc Squad. There he forged a close alliance with Sergeant Harren Tavis. However, when the Sith Empire suddenly proposed peace talks, Din and Tavis were recalled to Coruscant to deliver a report. Their return coincided with the Sith Empire's attack on the Republic capital. Din had confronted Darth Angral in battle, but he was quickly overpowered. But before the Sith Lord could strike the final blow, a crashing warship had disrupted the fight, which allowed Din to escape and regroup. Now, rushing to defend the Jedi Temple, Din and Tavis arrived too late. The building collapsed under a series of explosions, and amongst the presumed dead was Din's own apprentice, Bengal Maw. The loss had weighed heavily on him, but he was sent on a new assignment by Grandmaster Zim. This was to investigate his former student, Fortress Gaul. He was getting up to no good on Balmorra. Along the way, he rescues Satil Shan from Mandalorian mercenaries, and then he discovers a deeper conspiracy at play within the Republic. His investigation eventually led him to the bounty hunter, Braden, whom he confronted, briefly captured, and then he escapes. But following the war, Din became a member of the Jedi High Council, and he takes on a new teaching role on the planet Tython. When Flesh Raiders then launched an attack on the Jedi, he led the defense and uncovered that the true orchestrator was none other than his lost apprentice, Bengal Maw. Then a promising young Padawan came along, the player of the game, defeats Maw, and then recognizing their potential, Din then takes this new person on as their apprentice. Over time, he guided them through a series of dangerous missions, ultimately seeing them rise to the rank of Jedi Knight. Now, as tensions between the Republic and Sith escalated, Din and his former apprentice worked together to counter emerging threats. On Coruscant, they thwarted the Planet Prison superweapon, then later Din pursued the Deathmark laser on Alderaan. However, his real objective was Darth Angral, who he tracked in secret. Knowing that the battle would be perilous, Din had deceived his allies about his true mission. He infiltrates Angral's flagship, and he attempts to stop the Sith Lord, but he was ultimately beaten, captured, and executed. But before his death, he managed to plant a tracking beacon on Angral's vessel. That would ensure that the Republic can monitor the Sith's movements. But even in death, Din refused to fade into the Force. His spirit had continued to guide his former student. He helped them break free of the Emperor's influence and urged them to find an ally amongst the Sith. Later during the ongoing war, he reappeared on Rishi, leading his former apprentice to his old dwelling. Worried that they were losing sight of what it really meant to be a Jedi, he encouraged them to step away from battle and go and aid the local population. Only after completing these tasks did he reveal his true purpose, and that was helping his former student unlock long-buried memories of his time when he was under the Emperor's control. With his final lesson complete, Din had made his farewell, reassuring his apprentice that even though that they will no longer speak, his wisdom and presence would always be with them. That is all I have on Orgus Din. Hope it helped.